Today, we're doing an easy furniture restoration job on the Home Tip Show. Let's get going. We found this combination nightstand lamp at a local thrift store for $19. It was made in August of 2001 in China. While not exactly an antique, we felt it had the potential to become something unique and special to complement a twin-size bed I restored last year that we have in one of our second floor bedrooms. Well, I don't know about you, but I personally like the little dangly things on the shade here, so we'll have to see if we're going to keep this shade or upgrade it. Okay, so I will be sanding today with my DeWalt, what is this? This is a DWE 6423, they call it a random orbital palm sander. And I really like it because it has these little holes in the bottom, which line up with holes in the sandpaper. So it's sucking in constantly to this little bag here, which you dump out periodically. This is a piece of the 150 grit sandpaper. I will first sand with the 150 grit, and it's all Velcro. Basically, you just line those holes up, you're done, it's on. When I want to jump to the 320 sandpaper, you take that off and you put on a piece of the 320. I am using sandpaper from a company called it's like M Stool Pro Abrasives, and you can see this is 125 millimeter, 8 holes, yellow sandpaper, and it's Velcro. And this is the 320, and I also have a box of 220 and then 150. The lower the number, the more grit the sandpaper has. So when I'm stripping furniture, I like to use a 150 because it rips it off real fast, rips the old stain off or the varnish or paint or whatever's there. And then I like to finish with the 320. A lot of people will just stop at the 150 and paint, and I think their products probably turn out fine. But growing up in a body shop, you know, we sanded with 2000 grit sandpaper. Super, super fine. I'm just used to having a little bit higher quality product by going up to the 320 instead of the 220 or the 150. And so I'll start with the 150 and we'll end with the 320. So this is the wood part of the nightstand. This is the piece that would traditionally be where you place your alarm clock or your phone charger, etc. I've removed it simply by turning the upper metal lampstand counterclockwise until it unscrewed and came off, giving me unobstructed access to the wood portion of the nightstand. This particular piece is coated with a wood veneer, and they used MDF underneath the veneer for support. MDF is a very, very common product, stands for medium density fiberboard, and is used in almost everything that's wood in your house nowadays, including the trim, even your desks and things of that nature. It used to be that MDF was a very inferior product. They called it pressed wood, but modern day MDF is a very good product and something that you will see it used quite constantly. There are a couple of raised or lifted areas in the veneer coating that I need to sand out and smooth while I'm stripping the old stain. That way, when I repaint it with the same chalk white paint I used on the bed upstairs, those areas will no longer be visible. Here I'm switching from the 150 grain sandpaper I spoke of earlier to the 320 grain finishing sandpaper. This is in order to get a smooth finish on the end product. After all the sanding is complete, I like to wipe things down with a lacquer thinner type product to remove any dust or chemical residue that may be on the wood. And I want to do that before painting to avoid potential issues such as fish eyeing, etc. I found that this step is very important in having a final result that is smooth and free of dust. After thoroughly mixing the antique chalk paint, I apply a thin first coat of paint to the entire surface and sides, watching very closely that I do not get runs or have buildup of any extra paint in certain areas, especially along the top edge. The very nice thing about this particular paint is that it's thick and it almost goes on like drywall mud. So you can easily sand out any imperfections that you find in the paintwork by hand with the 320 grit sandpaper. For painting, I'm simply using a cheap 2-inch foam brush for all the paintwork. At this point, I've already applied the first coat and let it dry for the recommended amount of time before I started applying the second coat. I'll finish it by giving it a light sanding, a very light sanding by hand, not with the sander, but by hand with the 320 grit sandpaper, and then painting it one more time with that third coat. The paint I'm using is called Chalk by Behr, which is a Home Depot product, and you can find it in their paint section. It's very, very flat and does a great job of hiding any imperfections in the wood, but also giving it kind of an antique feel. I did not paint underneath the countertop here, or the nightstand top, or any of the black, because to be honest with you, nobody's going to see underneath it, and it hadn't been painted originally from the factory either. And the black was in such great shape, I figured why mess with something that isn't broke. After giving it a real light hand sanding with the 320, I applied the third coat. Next, I'll clean up any paint that I got on the cord or on the black metal, and we'll put it all back together and take it up to the room and see how it looks. And here is the final product installed in the bedroom. As you can see, the white on the nightstand matches the white that we used on the restored bed. Verdict's still out on if she's going to keep the lampshade or not, but I kind of like these dangly things. It's all been cleaned up. All the drops of paint that we got on the black and on the cord have all been removed with a little lacquer thinner and little muscle. But I really like it. I think it's a great addition for this type of antique bed, and it looks great. It's the perfect size for this room. It's small and it serves multiple purposes. We also placed a Philips Hue light bulb in there, so let's see if we can get that to go on. Right now it's named Great Room because this bulb happened to come from the Great Room, so we'll talk to Alexa and see. Alexa, Great Room light on. Yeah, there it is. Alexa, Great Room light blue. Alexa, Great Room light pink. Alexa, Great Room light white. There it is. So, Alexa, Great Room light 20%. So if you want a little night light, you got that too. If you enjoy videos such as this, please like this video, but more importantly, subscribe to my channel on YouTube. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you for watching today.